Welcome. This video is for chess beginners. We'll be covering these 5 topics today. Let's start with the first term, the center. So as you can see in the chessboard, there are 64 squares. The middle 4 squares are called the center. You can see the d4 square, e4 square, d5 square and e5 square. These are the central squares. It is very important in chess to control the center. For example, I play this move, I am controlling this square d5, or let's say if I play this knight here, I am controlling the d4 square as well as the e5 square. So in chess it's very important to control the center. It gives you an edge in the game and you will be able to win easier if you are able to control the center. Let's talk about the second topic, that is files and ranks. So in chess you can see from A to H, these are called files. From 1 to 8, whatever is the horizontal part, that is called ranks. Let me give you an example. Let's assume this pawn is not here. So this rook here, so this rook has this H file open, right? So that is what is called a file. But let's say for example, if this rook is present here, this rook is in fifth file, right? So to summarize, the horizontal ones are called ranks and the vertical ones are called files. Let's move to the third topic, castling. So in chess you can castle two ways. One is called short castle and another is called long castle. You can see this imaginary position on this board. This is not a real position, but I wanted to show this to demonstrate castling. You can always castle towards this side. This is called the short castle. If you try to castle towards the left side, this is called as long castle, right? So but there are few conditions for castling. First is there should not be any piece that is blocking the castling way. For example, you see this bishop here, this is blocking the way of the king, right? So you will not be able to castle here. Let's say if the bishop was here, you should be able to castle this side, right? That is one rule. And another second important rule is that if you had moved the rook or the king before, you will not be able to castle. Let's jump into the fourth topic, the stalemate. So you can see here the white was comfortably winning, but now it's black's turn to play. But black does not have any legal moves because this pawn is blocked by the opponent's pawn, and black cannot move to any of these squares because the queen is controlling these squares. At this point there is no check to the king, so this is called stalemate and it is considered a draw. Let's jump into the last topic. So that is the game phases. There are 3 phases in the game. The first phase is called the opening phase. That is where you develop all your pieces. For example, I move this pawn, so this will make for my bishop to get developed. I can develop my knight and so on. The main agenda of the opening is to control the center and then develop my pieces. Then comes the middle game. The middle game is where you use tactics to gain material advantage over your opponents. And then comes the end game. End game is where most of the pieces would have been exchanged and you have little pieces left on the board. And in the end game, the king activity is very important to support other pawns that are left in the board. Thank you.